Every single day you are thinking thousands of thoughts. But have you ever stopped to consider that these thoughts are not just fleeting mental events, but the actual architects of your entire life? Most people go through life believing that their circumstances are determined by luck, by other people, or by forces beyond their control. They see themselves as victims of their environment. They blame their past, their upbringing, or the economy for their current situation. But what if everything you experience on the outside is merely a reflection of what you've been thinking on the inside? This is the revolutionary premise of James Allen's classic work, As a Man Thinketh. Published in 1903, this short but profound book reveals a truth that most people never fully grasp. Your thoughts are not passive. They are creative forces that shape your character, your circumstances, your health, and your destiny. In this summary, we will explore the core principles that Allen presents. We will examine how thought builds character, how it creates circumstances, and why mastering your mind is the ultimate form of personal power. Let us begin with the foundation, the power of thought and character. James Allen opens with a powerful assertion. A man is literally what he thinks. His character is the complete sum of all his thoughts. Think of your mind as a garden. You are the gardener. Every thought you plant is a seed. If you plant noble, positive thoughts, you will cultivate a beautiful garden of character. If you allow weeds of negative, destructive thoughts to grow unchecked, your garden will become overgrown with chaos. Character does not appear by chance. It is not a gift you are born with. It is the result of continued thought patterns over time. Allen explains that every action springs from the hidden seeds of thought. Even actions that appear spontaneous have their roots in long-held mental habits. You cannot have a pure, strong character while harboring corrupt, weak thoughts. It is impossible. The law is absolute. As you think, so you become. A person who harbors hateful thoughts will develop a hateful character. A person who thinks thoughts of love and compassion will radiate those qualities outwardly. Your outer life will always mirror your inner mental state. This principle empowers you with total responsibility. You're not a victim of your character. You are its creator. How thought creates circumstances. Now we move to one of the most controversial yet liberating ideas in the book. Your circumstances are not random. They are the outer manifestations of your inner thoughts. Allen argues that every person is where they are because of the thoughts they have chosen to harbor. Your environment, your relationships, your financial situation. All of these are the visible effects of invisible mental causes. This does not mean that every single event is directly caused by a single thought. Life is complex. But Allen insists that over time, your habitual thought patterns draw certain circumstances toward you and repel others. A person who thinks thoughts of fear and doubt will find themselves surrounded by limiting circumstances. A person who thinks thoughts of courage and confidence will attract opportunities for growth. Allen is clear. Good thoughts and actions can never produce bad results. Bad thoughts and actions can never produce good results. This is simply the law of cause and effect applied to the mental realm. Many people reject this idea because it seems to blame victims for their suffering. But Allen is not advocating for a simplistic blame game. He is offering a path to freedom. If your thoughts created your circumstances, then by changing your thoughts, you can change your circumstances. You are not helpless, you are not trapped, you hold the key to transformation within your own mind. Circumstances do not make the man, they reveal him. External conditions are the mirror showing you what you have been thinking habitually. The connection between thought and health. Allen also explores how thought affects the physical body. Your body is the servant of your mind. It obeys the operations of your thoughts, whether they are deliberately chosen or automatically expressed. Disease and health, like circumstances, are rooted in thought. A person who harbors sickly thoughts will manifest a sickly body. Thoughts of fear, worry, anxiety, and resentment literally poison the body. They break down the nervous system and weaken immunity. On the other hand, thoughts of joy, goodwill, and serenity create health and vitality. Clean thoughts make clean habits. The body is a delicate instrument that responds quickly to the nature of your thinking. Allen writes that strong, pure, and happy thoughts build up the body in vigor and grace. You cannot have a healthy body if you persist in unhealthy thinking patterns. This principle invites you to take full responsibility for your physical condition. Yes, genetics and external factors play a role, but your mental attitude is the master factor, determining whether your body thrives or deteriorates. Worry, fear, and negative emotion are the enemies of health. Peace, love, and positive expectation are its greatest allies. Thought and purpose. Here Alan addresses a critical problem. Thought without purpose is wasted energy. It drifts. It leads nowhere. Until thought is linked with purpose, there can be no intelligent accomplishment. Most people allow their mental ship to drift on the ocean of life without a rudder. They have no definite aim. They let circumstances push them around. A person without purpose is vulnerable to every fear, doubt, and petty worry. They become easy prey to self-pity and disappointment. Alan urges every person to conceive a legitimate purpose in their heart and set out to accomplish it. Make this purpose the central point of your thoughts. Focus on it. Let every thought contribute to its achievement. Even if you fail again and again, the mental strength gained in the sincere effort is worth more than the goal itself. Attempting to achieve purpose strengthens character. It teaches discipline. It reveals inner resources you did not know you possessed. Those who have no central purpose fall into failure and unhappiness. They become the victims of their own wandering thoughts. But those who fix their minds on a definite aim find that their thoughts organize themselves around that purpose. Obstacles become stepping stones. Challenges become teachers. Purpose gives direction. It transforms scattered mental energy into focused creative power. As we reflect on these principles of thought, character, circumstances, health, and purpose, a question naturally emerges. Which of these principles do you find the most challenging to apply in your own life? Let us continue to the final core ideas, the thought factor in achievement. All achievement, whether in business, intellectual pursuits, or spiritual growth, is the result of directed thought. It is governed by the same law that shapes character and circumstances. A person can only rise, conquer, and achieve by lifting up their thoughts. They remain weak, abject, and miserable by refusing to elevate their thinking. Alan emphasizes that before a person can achieve anything, they must lift their thoughts above the level of slavish animal desire. They must learn to control their thoughts and focus them constructively. Intellectual achievements are the result of thought consecrated to the search for knowledge or beauty. They come from sustained mental effort directed toward a clear aim. Spiritual achievements are born from holy aspirations. They emerge when thought is fixed on the highest ideals and divine realities. The person who would accomplish little must sacrifice little. The person who would achieve much must sacrifice much. Sacrifice here means giving up lower thoughts to make room for higher ones. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot hold lazy, aimless thoughts and expect disciplined achievement. Your outer results will always correspond to your inner mental state. Alan writes that all achievements are preceded by dreams. The dreamer is the savior of the world, but dreams must be supported by focused thought and persistent action. Visions and ideals. Dreams and visions are the seedlings of reality. The oak sleeps in the acorn. The bird waits in the egg. Your greatest achievements are sleeping in your highest visions and ideals. Alan teaches that you will become as small as your controlling desire or as great as your dominant aspiration. If you cherish a beautiful vision, a lofty ideal, you will one day realize it. Do not lose sight of your vision, even when the path seems impossible. The greatest achievements in history began as seemingly impossible dreams in someone's mind. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. Your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. Circumstances may seem to block your path. Other people may doubt you. Resources may appear inadequate. But if you hold fast to your vision, nurture it with focused thought, and support it with consistent action, you will eventually externalize it. The person who cherishes a beautiful vision will one day see it manifested in reality. The person who holds no vision will drift through life accomplishing nothing of significance. Serenity and the mastery of thought. The final principle Alan presents is perhaps the most valuable. Serenity is the result of mastering your thoughts. It is the crown jewel of self-control. A calm mind is like a peaceful lake that perfectly reflects the sky. An agitated mind is like a stormy ocean, churning with waves of reaction and emotion. Serenity comes when you realize that circumstances do not control you. Your reactions to circumstances do. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can always control what you think about what happens to you. The person of serene mind has learned to govern their thoughts. They do not react impulsively to every external stimulus. They remain centered, calm, and composed regardless of outer conditions. Alan writes that serenity is the evidence of true knowledge and wisdom. It reveals mastery over the self, and self-mastery is the foundation of all other mastery. As you cultivate calmness, you increase your mental power. Your judgments become clearer. Your decisions become wiser. Your influence over others becomes more profound. The serene person becomes a source of peace in a chaotic world. Others are drawn to their calm presence. They inspire confidence and trust. This serenity is not achieved overnight. It is the result of long, patient practice in thought control, but it is available to anyone willing to do the inner work. The final takeaway. As a man thinketh delivers one core message. You are the master of your destiny. Your thoughts are the tools with which you shape your life. Every circumstance, every relationship, every success, every failure, these are all outward reflections of your inner thought life. By changing your thoughts, you change everything. This is not wishful thinking. It is a law as reliable as gravity. As you sow in thought, so shall you reap in character, circumstances, health, and destiny. Take responsibility for your mental garden. Weed out negative, destructive thoughts. Plant seeds of nobility, purpose, and vision. Nurture them with focus and persistence. Your life will transform from the inside out. If you found value in this summary, please subscribe to this channel. We upload a new book summary every single day to help you grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of As a Man Thinketh, give this video a like. It helps us understand what content serves you best. Thank you for watching. Master your thoughts, and you will master your life.